Good morning, friends. So today's class about soma clonal variation. Okay, what is soma clonal variation? General account. What are the soma clonal variations? Why we need to study the soma clonal variations and how these soma clonal variations get generated into the plants during the tissue culture. As you know, in case of plant tissue culture or tissue culture, we are going to culture a particular cell, particular tissue, organ in order to get develop either a different organs or a complete plant under aseptic conditions in a artificial media. So that media is totally responsible to generate a different class of variations. So variations. So this artificial culturing media is generating different class of variation in a somatic cells. So some variations are generated under in somatic cells are known as soma clonal variations. Soma means somatic variations. And similarly, some variations are get generated into the gametic cells. So that is known as gametoclonal variations. Okay. So, so the main objective of plant tissue culture is to multiplication of the different class of the plants, different types of the plant in a short period of time. Okay, so plant tissue culture is providing means of the advantages. Okay, so sometimes these somatomal variations are advantageous, sometimes they are not advantageous. Advantageous in terms of means during the somatomal variation, the plant tissue culture, the somatomal variations give a unique trait that plant earlier do not have. That unique trait is responsible either uh, giving a resistance to a particular disease, either a drought resistance, or a particular bacterial, viral, or fungal disease resistance. And sometimes it will give a higher yield as compared to its traditional or original mother plant. You can say another term. So that's why this somatomal variations are very good in terms of to cultivate a particular cell under the tissue culture media. So how these somatomal variations are generated, that is totally depend on the culture media conditions. Okay. So that also we will discuss what is the molecular basis of these somatomal variations and what are the different changes occur, what are the different changes in the media is responsible to generate the different class of somatomal variations. Okay, so that we are going to deal in this class. So under this content introduction, what are the features of somatomal variations? What is the molecular basis or mechanism generate the somatomal variations? That also we are going to deal. What are the causes of variations? Causes means why they are generated in culture media. Then factor affecting production of the variants. What are the different factors? Physical factors, artificial molecular factors. Then isolation of somatomal variants. How we can isolate a particular variant? How we can identify a somatomal variant from the other plants? Then detection of somatomal variation. How we can detect different types of somatomal variants? So what are the techniques to detect the somatomal variants? What are their applications? Application in agriculture. Okay. So all these things we are going to deal into the detail. So soma means somatic cell, as I told you. Clones means generation. Okay, soma means somatic cells, clones means generations. Means in case of soma clone variations, there are some variations they got generated into the somatic cells during the tissue culturing process. So the term soma variation first coined by Larkin and Skokov. Larkin and Skokov in 1981. So that is the important. Larkin and Skokov. Larkin and Skokov. You have to remember this. They have generated Larkin and Skokov in 1981. So how they define that? Larkin and Skokov, how they identify, how they define the soma variants. So these according to Larkin and Skokov, somaclonal variations are the genetic variability. Somaclonal variations is the genetic variability which is regenerated regenerated during the tissue culture. Okay, these are the in layman term we can say there are some variations got generated in the somatic cells during tissue culture, or we can say the plant variants which are derived from any form of the cell or tissue culture. Plant variants that are derived from any form of the cells or tissue culture. They are known as somatogen variants. There are some genetic variations in the plants that have been produced by the plant tissue cultures and can be detected as a phenotypic trait. Obviously, if there are some changes occurring into the plants, okay, that is directly or indirectly can visualize into the phenotypic phenotype of the plants, yes, morphological. That is known as that is known as uh, means there can the changes can be visualized into the phenotype phenotype. So these genetic variations are occurring into the DNA or genetic material of the cells. So they are expressed in terms of protein or in terms of morphological phenomena. So they can be visualized by the naked eye. So the genetic variations are inherited. Means there are some variations there if they are occurring in the gametic cells or their genetic material DNA. They are inherited by the clones of treated plants. Inherited means they can segregate into their next progeny from their mother plants. Okay. They are heritable. Sometimes the somatoform variations leads to desirable characteristics like increased pest and disease resistance. Okay. So as I told you, that will give you some advantageous character, unique character to the plants. So they are known as so like increased pest and disease resistance, increased drought tolerance. So these kinds of variations can be we can get through some of our variations. So kind of work is majorly done to achieve some the beneficial properties of the plant, like disease resistance, stress resistance, stress resistance, and different class of unique advantages of higher yield, higher yield they will give as compared to their mother plant. To their mother plant. Okay. So other advantages, I will quote you example later on when we factor. So the recovery of the genetic changes in the plant generation or generated from somatic cells. Thus, they offer an opportunity. They offer different class of opportunity to unravel the natural variability and to use this variation for development of new varieties. Plenty of good purpose. According to Lakshmi and Stokov, they are saying that if we are getting such advantageous character during the tissue culture, so these new traits can be used to develop a new varieties. Can be used to develop a new varieties. Can be transferred into a different varieties. What are the different features of these somatoform variants? Features of these somatoform variations. The variations for the karyotype, rhizogram characteristic, morphology, and somatoform variations, somatoforms may be observed. So the variations for the karyotype means arrangement of the nucleus, genetic material. Isozyme characteristic. Isozymes are different from of a particular enzymes. Okay, they are performing different functions. So and morphology can be observed directly. Heliclones. Heliclones means clones of the cellus. From the same cellus, we are producing through the subculture. We are producing different cellus. They are known as caliclones. Similarly, Marie clones of meristem tissue. Protoclones, clones from the protoplast. They are produced. Okay. Generally, they are heritable mutations and persist in the plant population even after plantation into the field. When we are planting into the field, then they are heritable mutations and persist in plant tissue even after plantation into the field. So variations occur in both qualitative and quantitative traits. Okay, so if we classify the trait into two different classes, qualitative traits and quantitative traits. Qualitative traits mean traits which are regulated by the single gene, which are regulated by the single genes. So we can quote example like flower color, pore color. Quantitative traits means traits which are regulated or controlled by more than one genes. Few genes. We call them as a polygenic trait also. Example, plant height, weight of the pod size, so which we can quantify them. Trait. Those traits are known as quantitative trait. Okay. So these traits are known as quantitative traits. Now, nomenclature of somatogens. The somatogens that are generated from tissue culture directly are regenerated as Carnot plant or R plant. The somatogens that are generated from tissue culture directly are known as R naught or plants. Then the self-fertilized progeny of R naught plant represented R1 plant. Self-fertilized or during after the selfing when we are producing next progeny from R naught plant they are known as R1 plant. Similarly R2, R3, R4 are produced as subsequent generations. So some other workers uses other nomenclature like SC1, SC somatron 1, somatron 2 for the subsequent generations. What is the molecular mechanism? Chromosomal variations occurs as a result of genetic heterogeneity. Genetic heterogeneity in plant tissue culture, which may be. So now we will try to understand the mechanism. Mechanism is how they are generated. First is genetic. They are heritable variations. Epigenetic. They are non-heritable variations. Genetic variations are heritable. Pre-existing variations in somatic cells of the plant, which is caused by the mutations and other DNA changes. Genetic changes always occur in the DNA sequences. They either change the DNA nucleotide sequence or either single nucleotide sequence. Those are mutations. SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphism, insertion or deletion into the nucleotide sequence in a particular gene. If they are concerning, they are expressed in a particular trait, so this leads to generating different class of somatic variants. So if we talk about pre-existing variations in somatic cells of X, there are certain pre-existing variations also present that are not directly expressed, but after tissue culturing they may get expressed. They also caused by the mutations and other DNA changes. As I told you, genetic variations always occur in the genetic sequences, DNA sequences. Okay, that can cause either by the mutations or other DNA. Other DNA changes means replacement, insertion or deletion, single nucleotide polymorphism. Okay, so like similarly, genetic disorders such as polyploidy, aneuploidy, chromosomal aberrations, all these are responsible for the genetic variations. Okay. Polyploidy, sometimes polyploidy or aneuploidy can be leads to the replication error. Polyploidy means get the multiplication of the particular cells, begins chromosomal cells. Get multiplied. They are occur at higher frequency. Genetic variations or genetic changes occur at higher frequency as compared to somatic variations. Epigenetics means there are other changes instead of changes in the DNA sequences. No any variations. Variations generated during tissue culture. There are some variations which are generated during tissue culture. They are caused by temporary phenotypic changes. Caused by temporary phenotypic changes due to culture condition also. Culture condition of change in pH, salt concentrations. If some phenol is compound get generated in tissue culture, all these changes leads to change the culture condition and they responsible to generate the chromosomal variations. They occur at low frequency. Occur at low frequency as compared to genetic variations. Now, basically, if we talk about the causes of chromosomal variations, the chromosomal variations can be because of either physiological changes or physiological causes, physical condition, or the tissue culture media. Genetic cause is sequence of the DNA. Biochemical cause is biochemicals which are like phenolic compounds in tissue culture media. Physiological cause. Exposure of culture to plant growth regulator. If we are exposing the tissue culture into the different plant growth hormones, plant growth regulators, then the concentration of plant growth regulators is also responsible to generate a unique different class of the variations in the tissue culture. Culture conditions. Culture conditions means light intensity, humidity, relative humidity, change in the pH, salt concentrations. All these culture conditions are responsible for the physiological cause, physiological changes. Genetic cause, change in chromosome number. So these are the physiological causes. Now, genetic causes. What are the different genetic causes? Genetic causes means genetic causes could be change in chromosome number. So if a particular chromosome number either get doubled or get deleted, if either increase in the chromosome number or decrease in chromosome number. Euploidy. Euploidy represents the change in the chromosome sets. Correctly, we are talking about the sets, pair, chromosome pair, chromosome sets. Aneuploidy, change in the part of chromosome set. A particular part, aneuploidy means particular segment or particular single chromosomes. Polyploidy, polyploidy organism more with more than two chromosomes. If a particular chromosome organism has more than two chromosome sets. Normally in somatic cells, chromosomes are present in two sets. Or in gametic phase, that's why we are calling them somatic cells as a diploid. If we talk about gametic cells, they have single set of the chromosomes. They have single set. Monoploids or haploid. Monoploid organism with one chromosome sets. Monoploid. Change in chromosome structure. So sometimes chromosome structure also get changes because of deletion. Deletion is if there is a deletion of a particular nucleotide sequence or particular segments, maybe 8 to 10 nucleotides, more than that, that lead to change in chromosome structure, inversion. Sometimes particular chromosomes get inversely broken down at a particular place and added back in a reverse position. That is known as inversion. Inversion. Duplication. Sometimes a particular nucleotide segment or chromosomal segments become replicated and inserted again back, so it becomes duplicated. So duplication may occur. Translocation. So these all these four phenomena responsible for the change in chromosome structure. Genetic mutations. What is genetic mutation? Third cause of genetic causes mutations. In genetic mutations, transition, transversion, insertion, deletion. So all these gene mutations are responsible for the genetic causes also. Transition, transversion, insertion, or deletion. Plasma gene mutations. Plasma gene mutations means the genes which are present in mitochondrial chloroplast, or you can say cytoplastic genome. They are also responsible for the mutations. Transposable element activation. As you know that transposable elements are the DNA sequences which can move from one place to another place in the genome. They are known as transposons. So these transposons are either most of the time they are inactivity. Okay. So because of culture condition, because of different class of conditions, they get activated. So these transposons or transposon element activation is also leads to different class of variations. The variations may be in somaclone or in chemotectonal variations. Then change in the DNA sequences or DNA sequences, modification in DNA sequences. First, change in DNA. Detection of altered fragment by restriction enzymes. We can identify them. If DNA sequence gets changed either of any region, it is also responsible for the generation of somatoform variations. Change in the protein. Loss or gain in protein band is also responsible for the somatoform variations. Alteration in the level of protein, specific protein. Level of protein is expression level. How much quantity of particular protein is getting expressed or synthesized in the cell. Methylation of DNA. Methylation inactivate transcription processes. The Ronald. So this methylation is a post-translation transcriptional modifications. They get inactive with the transcription process. Means a particular if, a gene is active condition, if the nucleotide sequence in that gene get methylated, they will become inactive. Means transcriptionally inactive. Now, factor affecting variations. So the somatic variations can be affected by selection propagules. Selection propagules means source of mother plant, like say protoplast chelum. Selection agent. Selection agent means which type of agent we are using for selecting the particular cell, toxins, herbicides, amino acid analogs. For we are taking for the selection of a chemical variants from the different sources. That agent is also responsible for the chemical variations. Technique used for the selection. What are the different molecular technique, biochemical technique we are using for the selection? Duration of cell culture, growth hormone effect, effect of particular growth hormone 2,4-D of gene gibberish cytochrome which we are using for the tissue culture. That is also responsible for generation of the chromosomal variations. Stability of resistant substances means because of culture conditions, how much stability of a particular substance or chemical had that condition under that conditions. That is also responsible for generate the chromosomal variations. In vivo testing protocols procedure, ability for regeneration of the plants, genotype and explant source. Then isolation of chromosomal variations. How we can isolate a particular variant, chromosomal variants. There are a number of selection systems are now available, which are used to select the variants. There are two techniques without in vitro technique or in vitro technique. So in case of unorganized callus or cell, unorganized cell mass or undifferentiated cell mass is known as callus during the tissue culture. So this unorganized callus or a cell which grew in culture for various periods for the different class of period of time on medium that contain no selective agent are induced to differentiate into whole plants. When our objective is to produce the callus, then we are under that condition we are not using any class of selection agent. Okay. So these when we are using the full identification purpose, when we are using an expand may be either leaf, stem, root, flower, petioles, anything. It's cultured on a suitable medium and supplemented with different class of growth regulators. Then unorganized callus and cell, which do not contain any selective agent like toxic inhibitory substances. These cultures are normally subcultured and transferred into the shoot induction medium for regeneration of the plant. So without in vitro means what happens in this technique? First, we need to place our explant under the suitable culture media. So in that media, we are not using any kind of selection agent. So that expands is developed into the callus. Then further, callus has to subculture into the different class of culture media. Okay. So in that subculture, during the subculturing, again we are not using any class of selection agent, and that after that subculturing, we are placing that tissue callus into a particular suitable medium for the shoot induction. Okay, for the shoot index. At that time also, we are not putting any kind of class of selection agent. So produce plant. Then after shoot induction, when we are going to produce the plant in the pot, transfer to the field, analyze for the chromosomal variations. So there is a diagrammatic representation of chromosomal variations. So explant you can see here, explant leaf, explant leaf you can see. But explant is placed into the social media for the callus indexing. And callus has to subculture and then subculturing is placed in a particular selective medium for the shoot indexing. And shoot indexing means developed into the shoots. Then rooting. Then the plant has to transfer into the field condition. Under the field condition, then we have to screen all the plants which are produced through subculturing for the desired trait or for the chromosomal variation. The selection of the chromosomal variation is done based on different agronomic trait. What are the different limitations of without in vitro approach? There is no specific approach for isolation of chromosomes. The appearance of desired trait is purely by chance. Okay. There is no any particular method through which directly we can produce the sum of equations. So this is based on purely by the chance based method. The procedure is time consuming, requires screening of many plants. Time consuming, laborious method. Then with in vitro technique. So in this, cell lines are screened from culture by their ability to survive in a presence of a substance in the medium that may be toxic or under condition of environmental distress. So in case of in vitro technique, with in vitro technique, we already determined that a particular, suppose we want to develop a disease resistance plant. So from the initial, we are culturing the cell or tissue under a selective medium, selective agent. And, in the tissue culture medium, we already place a selective exclusion agent. So the differentiated callus obtained from an explant is exposed in the medium to inhibitors like toxins, antibiotic, amino acid analogs. Selection cycles are carried out to isolate the tolerant callus culture, and these calli are regenerated into the plants. So the plants obtained in vitro screen against toxins. The plants resistant to toxins are selected and grow further by vegetative propagation or self-pollination. Subsequent regenerations are analyzed for the disease resistance plant against the specific pathogen. So in that case, we already placing the selective agent. These are the diagrammatic representations where you can see the plants from plants. We are taking expand then has to produce the callus, and callus will responsible for proliferation and maintenance of the callus or subculturing region. So in other side, we are taking pathogenic organism which is cultured, purified culture filtrate, isolation of the toxins, then toxicity determinations for lethal concentrations. Then both the proliferation tissue and the culture conditions, we are placing the toxins. Then again we have to make a different selection cycle. Okay, which calli is able to go under the toxic conditions. Okay, then isolation of tolerant calli. Then we have to identify the okay, this is growing normally, a healthy one. So the tolerant calli we have to identify. Then we have to regenerate the tolerant calli. Then we have to develop plantlet. In vitro screening against the toxin pathogens are not of C1 plants. And self-pollination, we are going to develop different class of generation, different further generations in that. So then we have to go for the test of disease appearance or disease resistance, generation of disease resistant killer in that. What are the advantages of that? There is a specific selection for isolation in desired trait. The procedure is less time consuming as compared to in vitro approach, without in vitro approach. And detection of the Somatoform variants, how we can detect different class of variants. Different method for selection and screening. Analysis of morphological character, based on morphological character, qualitative character like plant height, maturity, flowering date, leaf size. Quantitative trait like yield of flowers, seed and wax content in the different plants. Okay, so these traits we are using for the selection or the screening of the variants. Variant detection by the cytological study also we can by using staining meristematic tissue. By using the different meristematic tissue. Then variant detection by DNA content. Cytophotometer detection or Fulgen stand nuclei can be used to measure the DNA content. Detection of somoclonal variants. The variant detections by gel electrophoresis change in concentration enzymes, protein, and hemiculture produced by pigments like alkaloids, amino acids can be detected by the electrophoretic pattern. Then detection of disease resistance variant. Pathogen or toxin responsible for disease resistance can be used as selection agent during culture. Detection of herbicide resistant variants. Plant leaf generation by addition of herbicide to culture system can be used to herbicide resistant plant. Detection of somoclone variants. Detection of somoclone environmental stress tolerant. Selection of high salt tolerant alkali. Selection of waterlogged drought resistant alkali. Selection of temperature stress tolerant cell lines. Selection of mineral toxicity tolerant for young plants. Applications. Production of agronomically useful plants. Chemical variation selection list of crop plants resistant to a particular disease. Then resistant abiotic stress freezing tolerance, wheat, salt tolerance, rice, maize, tobacco is already done. Aluminum tolerance, carrot, sorghum, tomato. Resistant to herbicides. Lotus, leucodichloroacetic acid, improves seed quality. So here are certain examples which have been produced in tissue culture. Different somatome variants have been produced. You can see here. For biotic and abiotic stress, for both stresses, plants has been developed through tissue culture. Stomach vaccine has been developed. then there are certain limitations. There are serious disadvantages. Sometimes lead to undesirable results. Selective variations are random, genetically unstable, require extensive estimate free trials, not suitable for complex agronomical traits like yield quality, may develop various features which are not true. Thank you. Then there are certain limitations. There are serious disadvantages. Sometimes lead to undesirable results. Selective variations are random, genetically unstable, require extensive estimate free trials, not suitable for complex agronomical traits like yield quality, may develop various features which are not true. Thank you.